Battlefield 6 just came out with a new update, update 1.1.3.0, and I'm going to cover for you all the features that this update brings to the table. First off, we have new content. The Winter Offensive is coming out. A new time-limited map, Ice Lock Empire State, a winter-shrouded version of Empire State featuring frozen sheets and seasonal environmental visuals, a time-limited multiplayer in Gauntlet mode, a themed event mode playable across Domination, Conquest, and Gauntlet mission variations on Ice Lock Empire State featuring the event-limited freeze mechanic. A new melee weapon, the Ice Climbing Axe. That one's deadly. You can unlock this through the Winter Offensive bonus path. And we got portal updates. Ice Locked Empire State is available to use and supported portal experiences during the event window. And the Battle Pass, the Winter Offensive bonus path, is an 11-tier, time-limited reward track featuring event cosmetics, XP boosters, and the Ice Climbing Axe. The major updates for 1.1.3 features improved hit registration across situations that previously felt unreliable, including quick aim adjustments, firing before a zoomed completes, and close quarter fights with many players. These updates make bullet impacts more predictable and damage feedback easier to read in the moment. Enhanced close range soldier visibility with soldier stronger character highlights and improved prone animations to help soldiers stand out more clearly in low contrast or visually busy areas. Refined weapon handling for more consistent accuracy, addressing issues with first shot behavior, recoil interaction, and attachment alignment so weapons feel more stable and predictable during firefights. Improved reliability across several core gadgets, including updates to the LWCM's portable mortar, supply pouch, smoke cover, and traversal tools to ensure they behave consistently and provide clearer feedback. Slightened vehicle clarity and interaction, fixing issues around damage zones, HUD overlaps, suit reticules, and camera behavior to make vehicle play more stable for both drivers and passengers. And this one I'm excited about because they've been needing to do this for a while, I think. Updated breakthrough and rush layouts on multiple maps to improve attacker-defender balance, smooth out sector flow, and adjust vehicle distribution based on match outcome data and player feedback. I'll cover this part more later in the video. And last but not least, delivered a broad audio pass improving combat readability, including clearer footsteps and movement cues, more reliable armor break feedback, and tuning across several high priority gameplay sounds. To me, the footstep audio was already really good. I was able to pick up a lot of movement from enemies and where they were located, as I've showed examples in a bunch of my videos, but it's nice that they still keep adjusting it and working on it. Now, without further ado, the area of improvements. As you can see, this is a pretty damn big update right here across the board. I'm gonna do my best to cover everything. You guys don't have to listen to the whole thing, but I think it's better to read it through within a video instead of reading it yourself, so it's a lot faster and a lot clearer, and I give a brief summary on the rest of what they've fixed and improved on. For the players, fixed a clipping issue when dragging a soldier on an inclined surface when being prone, fixed a clipping issue with character soldiers when jumping, fixed a rare issue where fall damage wouldn't be applied immediately after being revived, fixed snapping and aggressive camera movements when performing takedowns on prone enemies from specific angles. Fixed an issue allowing players to use faulting to avoid being roadkilled by an enemy vehicle coming at high speed. Now that I didn't know. That's interesting. I never experienced that. Actually, the majority of this I've never experienced. Fix an issue causing controller haptic feedback to continue indefinitely when a reload was interrupted by swap into another weapon or gadget. Fix an issue causing hit registration to fail when firing while making extremely rapid aim adjustments, where we are continuing to investigate additional edge cases and reviewing player reports related to hit registration. So I haven't really encountered too much hit registration issues. Maybe here and there a few times where I would shoot a person and none of the shots were registering. It looked like it was shooting through them. It didn't even show like the blood effect after you shoot them or them reacting to the shot. Those few times I have encountered, but it's very rare. Fix an issue causing soldier legs to rotate incorrectly with the body when falling while prone. Fix an issue causing soldier movement to feel slow while walking on uneven terrain. Fix an issue causing the character's hands to appear misaligned when faulting through windows. Interesting. Fix an issue causing faulting while changing a defibrillator to make the soldier's hands disappear. I have seen this once. I have actually encountered this once, and actually only happened in Battle Royale. Fix an issue that caused getting revived after dying mid-fall to trigger fall damage the next time a player jumped. Huh, that's interesting. Fix an issue that caused the player to continue controlling their soldier after dying in water. That was weird. I have seen that a lot in Battle Royale. Not me personally. I've seen videos. It's only happened to me twice, actually, because I don't go to the water often. It's happened to me once at Gauntlet in the golf course area, and it was a little odd, but it was very rare, again, for me. Fix an issue that could cause a player to become stuck when entering water while crouching. Very interesting there. I'd never encountered that. Fix an issue that could prevent melee damage from being dealt to soldiers in water. There's a lot of water issues, wasn't there? And again, I'm going to stop talking about my experiences compared to everyone else's. I think me addressing my issues and the less problems I faced won't help you guys at all throughout this video. Fix an issue that could prevent melee damage from being dealt to soldiers seated in exposed vehicle seats. Fix an issue that made it difficult to traverse some stairs, especially at slow movement speeds. Fix an issue where climbing down ladders with a grenade equipped caused misaligned animations. Fix an issue where first-person grenade animations appear incorrectly when spectating another player. Fix an issue where getting hit by melee damage prevented the victim from performing melee attacks. Fix an issue where hands clipped into ladders when in first-person view. Interrupting a drag and revive would not cancel revive progress as expected. Fix an issue where jumping in and out of vehicles could lead to later hit registration for soldiers on foot. Fixing the issue where landing on a vehicle prevented a player from taking any fall damage. Fix an issue where melee animations would not play correctly when attacking while vaulting over mid-height obstacles. Fix an issue where melee attacking and returning to an assault ladder caused the player to appear to attack with the ladder. Fix an issue where performing zoomed aiming while colliding with wall during sprint would have offset the player's aim. Another issue is fixed where soldier models glowed incorrectly in front of the thermobratic visual effect when illuminated by a flashlight. An issue where the death camera could appear beneath the map when dying inside a vehicle. Another issue where the melee weapon briefly appeared in an incorrect pose when holding the M87A1 shotgun. Third-person mounting clipping issues with the HK433 when using certain bottom rail attachments. I never knew that. First and third person fault up and fault over mid-height animations for smoother transitions. Improved hit registration reliability when improved first and third person fault up and fault over mid-height animations for smoother transitions. Improved hit registration reliability when multiple players were within close proximity. Improved how recoil and aim input interact, resulting in more reliable accuracy when compensating for recoil. Improved melee animation when attacking while prone. Improved movement responsiveness at the start and end of drag and revive interactions. Improved soldier animation smoothness when entering and exiting prone. And improving visibility of soldiers at close range by applying brightness adjustments at 0 meters with a higher minimum intensity. Resolved an animation issue where quickly applying armor immediately after using a melee weapon could result in an unintended transitional animation. Updated third-person prone animations to improve clarity, reduce static poses, and enhance soldier visibility. We like that. Now for vehicles, they did a pretty decent improvement on them with this update. Fixed an issue where heavy machine gun fire from some vehicles would not consistently register damage against soldiers. Fixed an issue where some vehicle seats were incorrectly classified, preventing the correct passenger reticule from appearing while spectating another player. Fixed an issue where the soldier compass would appear simultaneously with the vehicle compass when sitting in certain gunner seats. Another issue with damage zones and armored vehicles that caused them to take higher than intended damage in certain situations. Thank goodness. Fixed UI behavior for the quad bike spawn camera to ensure it displays correctly upon deployment. Partially fix an issue where vehicle audio could stop functioning during the live gameplay due to suspected memory related issues. And now for weapons, they did do a few tweaks and improvements and nerfs in this update. Unfortunately, some of them are a little sad for me because I did enjoy some of these guns, so we'll see how they perform. I haven't tried them yet in the new update, but we shall see. Fix a bug where players could become stuck in a weapon inspect animation when entering a vehicle. Fix a rare visual glitch that could cause scopes to be displayed incorrectly. Fix a visual issue where the adjustable angle grip sat slightly higher on the weapon than intended. Fixed an issue causing the first bullet firing during early zoom transitions on certain weapons and scopes to be more inaccurate than intended. Fixed an issue that caused quick melee attacks to sometimes not return the player to their previous weapon after striking. Fix an issue where some scopes unintentionally receive thermal or depth of field blur. I have had this happen to me. I actually covered this in a recent YouTube short. It's very odd. I'm glad they fixed that. Although it was really cool too. Fix an issue where target dummies in the firing range remain down after being shot. This was funny. I actually really thought this was humorous because to me it was like a Slender Man type of creepy Easter egg. I thought it did it as a joke, but apparently it was an issue. And it only happened after the recent update, or after the previous update of this too. Another issue where the effects of FMJ ammunition were incorrectly applied to additional ammunition types. An issue where underslung attachments were not always restored correctly when picking up another soldier's kit. Flashlight weapon attachments being misaligned when sprinting at high FOV values. The peekaboo timing bug affecting the target dummies on the firing range. I'm assuming that's probably similar to the one where they sat down and then when you turn around, they would appear again. It was kind of weird. Or not sat down, but you turned away, you looked away from the targets, and then they would pop up, and you turn back, they'd go back down. Funny. Increase the minimum time between shots by 100 milliseconds in the mini scout to improve pacing and reduce rapid fire inconsistencies. Reduce recoil magnitude, but increased recoil variation on the M250, NVO228E, RPKM, SG553R, and SOR 300SC. These weapons now perform less effectively at long range, with the SG553R receiving the most noticeable adjustment. This is sad because I really love the M250 machine gun. I thought it was in the perfect state it was at. So I'm going to have to play with this some more just to see if it affects me in any long-range engagements, because I really thought this gun was perfect for long to mid-range engagements, even close quarters. Reduced the cost of the L110 and the M123K 200 round magazines from 55 to 50. That was good. I thought that was a good improvement here because 55 is just a little too much. And remove the penalty to ADS movement dispersion. Thank goodness, because that was a bother for me quite often. Tweaked haptic feedback for weapon reloads on PS5 controllers. This is great because my girlfriend would really appreciate this because she's encountered it a couple of times. Updated melee behavior to allow players equipped with melee weapon to choose between a takedown or a bash attack. And now we're moving onward towards the gadgets. There's quite a few fixes for these actually, and I'm really happy about it. Fixing an issue where assault ladders did not allow smooth traversal by increasing the maximum ramp angle from 45 to 52 degrees. Players can now run up the ladder without shifting into climbing stance. This is good because I found a few times where I wanted to sprint up the assault ladder without having it to be a ladder to climb up. I just wanted to sprint it up to get a vantage view. Now that they adjusted this to a higher degree, I can now do that a lot more often and more consistently. Another issue they fixed were gadgets that should be hidden by occlusion were still visible through geometry. I have seen this. Another issue where lock-on indicators appeared for engineers without a lock-on capable launcher equipped. Yeah, that was very odd. I've had that happen a lot. Supply crates deployed by enemy players were visible on the minimap. Another issue where throwing knife animations lasted longer than intended. I didn't use throwing knives much, so I never encountered that. They fixed where the recon drone spawned facing the wrong direction instead of matching the soldier's facing direction when being deployed. Reduced throwing knives dispersion so that headshots are reliably achievable up to 15 meters. That's awesome. And for the portable mortar, here we go. An issue where the incorrect shell type was used during firing and reload animations. Did not know that. An issue where firing a smoke shell did not shake the camera or tube. Smoke shell clouds were smaller than intended. The fire rate was lower than intended. The smoke shell always regenerated via supply crates. Logistics expert in the fire support tree now slightly enhances supply crates effect on the portable mortar's fire rate. Smoke shell ammunition now starts at 0 and regenerates every 45 seconds. Supply pouch. Fix an issue where the supply pouch instantly regenerated health on deployment with incorrect ammunition setup that caused inconsistent resupply behavior. Remove the initial heal on gadget deployment. The supply pouch now only heals over time. Thrown supply pouches now prioritize players who are low on or have requested health or ammunition. That's a nice feature. That is awesome, actually. Maps and modes. This one's exciting. I've been wanting to talk to you guys about this because a lot has been changed for Breakthrough especially. Here we go. Adjust the conquest and escalation capture areas on Manhattan Bridge so objectives can no longer be captured from rooftop positions. Extended rooftop out of bounds areas on Empire State, Manhattan Bridge, and Saints Quarter. Fixing an issue where deaths were not tracked correctly in Strike Point, where players were not properly credited for a kill caused by the destruction of a crane on Mirok Valley. I had this happen to me a few times, actually. That was kind of annoying. Another issue was fixed where vehicle selection on Escalation became temporarily unavailable if the player was on the deploy screen when a territory changed hands. Yeah, I had this happen to my buddy a few times when he was trying to get the jets or tanks. Made improvements to reduce cases of players matching into games that were near to end of round. Yay! We don't have that anymore. It was kind of funny when that happened, though. Battlefield Friends made a meme out of that, actually, in one of their episodes. The out-of-bounds timer on Manhattan Bridge is now correctly set to 10 seconds. Updated MCOM placement on Liberation Peak and Manhattan Bridge to improve attacker flow based on player feedback. Updated spawning behavior for battle pickups. In Breakthrough, battle pickups now spawn when their associated sectors are enabled. In Conquest and Escalation, battle pickups now spawn when their associated capture points are owned by a team. They also mention here, following feedback since launch, several Breakthrough layouts have been updated to address attacker-defender win-loss imbalance and improve overall flow, vehicle balance, and capture zone clarity across multiple maps. Here we go. This is the exciting part. Manhattan Bridge removed defender vehicles in Sector 2 and 3, added an additional IFV in Sector 3, updated capture volumes across Sector 1, 2, and 3 to support more consistent attacker progress, removed defender vehicles in all sectors from Mirok Valley, adjusted attacker vehicles counts. Sector 1 reduced attacker IFVs from 2 to 1, increased attacker tanks from 1 to 2. Sector 2 added 1 attacker IFV. Sector 3 added 1 attacker IFV. Updated capture volumes across all sectors to make attacking easier. New Stepback City has some new changes with Sector 2 and 3 added 1 defender tank and 1 defender IFV. Added 1 attacker IFV, removed defender tank and light support. Updated capture volumes in both sectors to improve attacker flow. They've basically improved capture volumes across the board for all the maps on Breakthrough. For Operation Firestorm, Sector 2 adjusted defender armor, added and removed tank spawns. Sector 3 added 2 attacker tanks and 1 attacker IFV, removed the defender tank. I'm glad they did this change because I had a lot of times playing Operation Firestorm at the end where we could not win because they just had way too many tanks. And, you know, even though with as much engineers we had, I wish we had more. No one was able to take them out accordingly. Liberation Peak with Sector 3 removed the defender tank. Sector 5 added 2 attacker IFVs, removed the defender transport. Now I'm pretty sure Sector 5 was actually on top of the mountain there with the fortress, the fortifications. So if that's true, if that's so, I think we could be able to win games more on the attacking team for Liberation Peak. Because we did lose a lot at the very end. It was very hard. Siege of Cairo added an additional attacker tank in Sector 1 and 3. Empire State, Sector 1 updated capture volume on B flag. Sector 2 updated capture volumes on A and B flags. Progression, fix an issue where enemies spotted by the LTLMN 2 portable laser designator did not count towards the spot enemies with recon gadgets. Weekly challenge. Fix an issue where the incendiary airburst launcher did not track progress for the support specialist 2 challenge when dealing damage with its lingering fire cloud. You know what? I have a buddy I've been playing with recently. He's been encountering this issue and he just completed the challenge actually, but he said it was a struggle because it just did not count half of what he was doing. So he would be happy to know this now, but he would be bummed out the fact that this is now fixed after he completed the challenge. A lot of UI and HUD and setting improvements here and fixes. So here we go. Added a loading pop-up when entering a tournament code to provide better feedback on what's happening. Added a free look helicopter game hit to be part of pilot hits. Enemies can no longer be spotted from the big map. Ensured players who trigger crane destruction now have their killer ID correctly logged into the scoreboard score log. Ensured the cut parachute prompt appears correctly in multiplayer modes outside of RedSec. Fixed the minimap issue where empty vehicle icons did not transition correctly into friendly vehicle icons when entering a vehicle. A rare issue where objective icons could disappear when redeploying. A teammate's armor briefly appeared as soft armor color when their armor broke, causing a momentarily incorrect visual. Camos in the challenges section did not show their name or category. An issue where hints for re-enter or deploy were displayed in the wrong order when using a controller with the EOD bot. Kill cards did not always appear when players were killed inside vehicles. Loading screen combat zone descriptions did not update correctly based on the active game mode. Fixing an issue where loading screen combat zone descriptions were incorrect for Sabotage on Eastwood. Fixing an issue where loading screen combat zone text displayed incorrectly on Sabotage across all maps, where the deploy camera could not appear correctly rotated when spectating a soldier or vehicle. Another one where the different painted states of the LT Element 2 portable laser designator weren't correctly represented by the gadget's HUD warning label. Saying that really fast is quite difficult, I must say. Fix an issue where the helicopter HUD would disappear when the color was set to black in the settings. The LMR-27 and ES-57 attachments lists were not sorted correctly. The LWCM's portable mortar icon had visual inconsistencies between the big map and the mini map. The Traverse Mark II displayed duplicate LMG text in the second seat, despite having only one mounted weapon. That's a very odd but funny one. The vehicle 3D preview did not update when switching loadout presets. Zooming in on the big map would sometimes result in a black screen. I've had this happen to me twice. A little odd. Fixing issues that prevented resupply station icons from appearing on the big map as intended. Improved Comoros behavior by correcting the request distances for need repair and need pickup. Thank goodness. Improved image cropping to better align artwork in the Battle Pass purchase screens. Improved ping behavior on friendly soldiers, revived requests, and stationary weapons. Improved the next used to describe unlock conditions for bonus mission for better clarity. Reduced man down icons to only show two closest down teammates. Remove the ability to cycle between classes on the deploy screen using Q and E to prevent unintended class changes before spawning. I had this happen to me a lot, and my buddies. We were like, man, why did we spawn with our wrong class? That was weird. Didn't mean to press that. It's because we pressed Q and E. Snap Zoom Aim Assist has been clarified in the menu. This option is only available in single player and portal modes, not in multiplayer. That's interesting. I wonder why only those two modes and not multiplayer, the biggest part of the game. Squatted friendly in-world name tags now blink when the player regains health or receives ammunition. Stationary weapons no longer show pickup provider icons when a player is requesting to be picked up. Unlock cosmetics to appear above locked ones in selection lists. Updated back navigation logic so consoles can no longer back out far enough to trigger the quit game pop-up unintentionally. Updated the countermeasure hint to only display when a weapon lock-on state makes the prompt relevant. Updated lock-on warning behavior so that lock-on alerts can take priority over painted labels when appropriate, ensuring threats are more noticeable. Updated the Saints Quarter loading screen to display correct combat zone text. Updated underbarrel launchers so the correct type icons appear in the HUD. And for settings, fixed the bug where changing the command console option would not apply until the game was restarted. Fix an issue where navigating back from the options menu couldn't behave incorrectly when accessed through pause menu. The edit controller schemes menu title could disappear in options, where vehicle aim sensitivity displayed an incorrect value in the vehicle control settings. Option sliders stepping functionality being broken and not allowing players to step through decimals. Improved the dynamic response curve option for controller stick aiming to better match player expectations and player feedback. My girlfriend and my other buddies that play on console will be very happy to hear about this. The range for infantry and vehicle mouse sensitivity options are now doubled and can go twice as high. Nice. For single player, they fixed an issue where the out of bounds timer did not correctly account for player death or man down state in single player. For audio fixes, they added a new vehicle specific hostile type in the identifier for more accurate callouts. Added safeguards so background environment soldier audio no longer triggers during moments with no combat. Adjusted the balance. Actually, that's interesting. Safeguards, so background environment, soldier audio. That's what they were. Okay, so I mentioned this in the video. I don't know if I've made it yet by the time this video comes out. But I mentioned how there's a lot of like soldier combat and like audio going on. Like if there's an abundance of soldier combat and a bunch of soldiers all combined together in an area, you'll hear this trigger audio, this audio trigger where you hear the same audio cue of soldiers screaming, getting hit, and you hear bullets and explosions and people just, making call outs and just, it's all out warfare screams. this is what it is. The background environmental soldier audio. That's cool. Now I know what it is. Adjusted the balance of the boot flow logo, music, and sound effects. Really? Huh. Fixing an audio issue that occurred when crawling while aiming down sights. Another one that caused health replenishing audio to play multiple times. Background environmental soldier audio wasn't affected by the voice over volume slider. Fixing another issue where end of round music would sometimes not play or play the incorrect track. That's funny. Players could experience a stuck low health audio cue after remaining at low health for 30 seconds in modes without health regeneration. Round start music could play before the round actually began. Had that happen a few times. Supply crate sound effects could repeatedly trigger on downed soldiers. The advance to next sector audio cue played out of bounds sound effect. The incorrect nearby friendly voice-over line would play when a mortar shell landed beside the player. The proper sound effect did not play when performing a combat dive. The Warshk Mark II SMRW railguns charge loop sound effects did not play correctly. Vehicle prop fuse fire effects were missing their intended audio. Fixed missing audio when performing weapon inspections. Optimized memory handling and improved prioritization for most in-game sounds, reducing cases where important audio such as vehicles or footsteps sometimes failed to play. So they added a new memory cache for audio. That's really neat. Partially fixed an issue where vehicle audio could stop functioning during live gameplay due to suspected memory related issues. I never considered that. Huh, that would make sense. And for footsteps, they made a whole category dedicated for this part. Balanced enemy-specific layers for clearer cloth and gear cues. Further reduced or removed the momentarily dampening of enemy movement audio triggered by damage, low health states, game notifications, or occlusion effects. Improved distance-based acoustics for clearer separation between close, mid, and far ranges. Improved distant world reflections to better convey space and positioning. Enemy movement audio at distance for greater readability. Overall enemy movement volume with an additional boost with an enemy is behind the player. Reduced how heavily sneaking stances, crouched, walking, crawling, lower enemy movement audio. Reduced how much the spec op trait lowers footstep audio when sneaking. So it's not going to be as useful, but I guess it's still going to be effective. Reduce scuff and scrape audio from movement against walls and ground. Oh, I do like that cue though. It really indicates for me like if they're against the opposite side of the wall for me. I've heard it a few times and it's helped me so many times win gunfights. Reduce self and friendly footsteps volume in war tapes, foul, and redsec. They refactored footstep triggers to be more reliable across different speeds and stances. Removed limitations on the maximum number of close-range enemy audio sources. Small balance and tweaks to footsteps on different materials for outliers, such as slow speed on gravel and different directions up, down, sideways on wooden stairs. Now for Portal, they fixed an issue where AI squad mates in Portal did not display class identifiers on the insertion screen. Fixing an issue where the mod play sound and mod play volume accepted by object type as input. These functions now correctly require sound effects and voiceover object types respectively, while existing syntax remains unchanged. Any TypeScript code that explicitly references generic object types will now need to specify mod.sfv or sfx or mod.vo as appropriate. This is good. I had an issue with this when I was scripting custom app myself, actually. It just wasn't working as intended. The fact that they actually updated this and we can improve those audio cues that we needed for, moving to the next sector or almost winning the game never popped up in my games when I was playing my custom apps. So I'm glad they fixed this. Fixed an issue where mod play VO always played the voiceover for the alpha flag regardless of the flag specified by the script. SDK assets for Main Street, Clubhouse, and Marina have been corrected to only use relevant assets. That's good. AI bots can now respond to ammo, healing, and pickup requests. Finally, because I thought they did this whole time and they weren't. So if I could go press that request button for some ammo or health, they'll come get me now. If I need a repair, they got me. But I rarely play AI bot games unless I'm playtesting my own custom map, so it's really useless for me. Besides that, I never play against bots. It's just useless for me. It's pointless. I'd rather play against real players. Fix an issue that caused AI repairing friendly vehicles to be less responsive than intended. Cases where AI attempted to take cover in ways that left them static or unresponsive, bots will now correctly move toward locked objectives in King of the Hill. Fixed instances where AI soldiers could take too long to find a valid path to their objective, causing them to remain stationary. Improved AI responsiveness when performing revives. Improved AI revive logic and movement to make their actions more consistent and reliable. Actually, you know what? All these AI improvements do help for the campaign, actually, too. Because I remember having a few moments while I was downed in the campaign. It would take them forever to revive me. And now I don't have to worry about it. Because I do want to play it through the campaign again to finish completing the challenges. And getting the achievements unlocked. For Red Sec, for the player category, they fixed a rare issue where second chance respawn could place players over 1,000 meters in the air. Yeah, that's happened to me in Really Hawk a couple of times when we played. I actually am covering it in the video I'm making right now. Fixed an issue where incorrect mouse sensitivity was applied to the MH47's third-person camera during an insertion. Fixed an issue where players could be kicked for inactivity while spectating. That was weird. I had it happen to me so many times. It was so odd. Fixed an issue where players could not claim a second custom weapon drop as a mission reward. You know, this happened actually recently when my buddy Chris and I were playing. It just did not happen after we completed the mission. Fix an issue where takedown prompts did not appear consistently when approaching enemies from behind, where the wrong animation would play when switching from a call-in grenade to a different weapon. Weapon swap animations broke after switching away from the resupply drop call-in. Trigger a redeployed tower or beacon now disables or destroys any other active tower or beacon for the same team. For Gauntlet, they fixed an issue where mission objects would not drop if the carrier disconnected. That's interesting. For vehicles, they fixed an issue where tanks and ambulances would be clipped through each other. Fixed an issue where vehicle containers could occasionally be empty after being opened. I did not encounter that. Adjusted damage for the Warsk Mark II railgun against fully armored soldiers. Headshots now kill the opponent on one shot, while the body shot will leave the opponent with 10 HP. You know what's interesting? While playing Gauntlet, though, they do go down with one shot, even through the chest, but then again, you only have one soft plate. Fix an issue with incorrect textures on the projectile deployed by the recon drone. Fix an issue where the recon drone's altitude unintentionally decreased as the match went on. That's funny. For call-ins, they fixed an issue where smoke cover could not be activated during the late stages of the match. Yeah, that would be very useful at late match, wouldn't it? The UAV now fully explodes on impact when shot down. That's fucking dope. That'll be more like cinematical epic moments to happen. And people died from it, so it could turn the tides a lot. They fixed an issue where a Razer keyboard lighting event did not trigger when interacting with antennas on the signal hack mission. For Battle Royale, they improved loot box placement across the map for more reliable accessibility. Thank goodness. For Gauntlet, they fixed an issue where MCOMs in wreckage would not reactivate after being destroyed. Yeah, that was a little disappointing when that happened, but it was very rare for me. UI and HUD fixed an issue where the armor bar of your teammates were showing even though they were at full capacity. And we're almost done here. For Battle Royale, they added clearer distinction between player and squad member inventory requests, added grenade notifications to the loot feed when a weapon is improved, fixed an issue where ping icons of lootable vehicles would disappear from the minimap when the players get more than 25 meters away from them, fixed an issue where the Tank Hunter mission UI could remain active if the targeted squad destroyed its own tank, updated the artwork for mission rewards to reflect new keycard changes. For Gauntlet, they added correct interaction prompts for counter mission teams when defusing explosives in wreckage. Fixed an issue where the scoreboard was sorted by deaths instead of score. Thank goodness, because when I was doing the tournament, it was very hard to distinct both of those, but I was able to pick it up after a while. Fixed an issue where the loadout screen overlay could incorrectly appear over the Gauntlet mission briefing on Aftermath. Fixed team ownership colors for MCOMs and wreckage missions. For audio, they fixed an issue where subtitles would not appear correctly during insertion. Fixed missing UI audio when unlocking the first field upgrade. Increased the volume of armor break audio for both incoming and outgoing hits. This announcement was great for all the updates. I was really happy to see all the changes they made. This is a pretty big update, actually. There's a lot more that they've done for this one. Like I'm going to keep mentioning to people, I'll always say this and repeat it. They need time to do these updates, so people can't rush them. People are saying that they're lacking on consistency with the updates. They're not fixing these things that need to be done now, but it takes time, especially if you're making a big update like this. It takes time to get things fixed and get good things going to improve those features that were bugged out or broken. So without further ado, I am very happy to share this with you all, and I hope this video helped you guys with the incoming update that is happening for Battlefield 6. The update is coming out December 9th, I believe, when the winter update is hitting. So at the same time, the winter update is coming. So keep that in mind and keep up to date on new features and updates that they bring to the table. Season 1 is long from finishing, and we got a long ways to go till Season 2. So we have a lot of content for Season 1, and I hope to see that in Season 2. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, comment down below, share your thoughts, subscribe, share this with your friends and family. I love you all. Have a great day. Peace.